Bloomberg has learned that allies of Keir Starmer have privately accused UK Health Secretary Wes Streeting of plotting to replace the Prime Minister. For more on this palace intrigue, I'm joined by Bloomberg's Lizzy Burden. Lizzy, what do we know at this point?
Well, we have to thank our UK political editor Alex Wickham for this scoop. And it's not the first time that Wes Streeting's name has been mentioned. He's younger than Starmer at 42. He's seen as charismatic. He's from a council estate in East London. He's gay. He'd be seen as a fresher face for the party than Starmer, who, of course, is languishing in the polls behind Reform UK's Nigel Farage. And don't forget, Streeting has flirted with disloyalty before. He's openly criticised President Trump around the time of his state visit, so breaking with Starmer's softly approach. But this time, Starmer's team say the market wouldn't like it. Streeting's team say it's categorically untrue. What's interesting about Streeting is that he just won his seat at the last election by a razor-thin margin, 528 seats. And so there's even a question whether he'll be re-elected when there is an election again. But the timing, Tom, is crucial. The Chancellor expected to raise taxes, break the manifesto at the budget on the 26th of November. That could be an opportunity for a leadership challenge because it would be so unpopular. But clearly, if Starmer goes so soon into his premiership, it'd smack of that instability under the Conservatives, under Johnson, Truss and Sunak, that Starmer promised he'd end.
And that brings us to the vulnerability of the gilt markets in that kind of scenario. OK, so we watch developments on that front. The economic data and the focus yesterday, of course, was the unemployment rate ticking up to 5%, the highest level since COVID here in the UK. But today, a bit of scrutiny from some, little bit of pushback as to just how valid that data is. It's not the first time we've had question marks over the validity of UK data.
Indeed, and you've got to take... I said this to you yesterday, didn't I? You've got to take this labour force survey with a wheelbarrow full of salt. And indeed, the Bank of England official Megan Green has reminded us that that is the case here. When we got that unemployment figure, of course, opposition politicians seized on it, but traders as well, upping their bets of a Christmas cut from the Bank of England. And indeed, JP Morgan changed its call from seeing a cut in February and bringing that forward to December. But Megan Green warning about these data collection issues. Just remember, the Chancellor's last budget was accused of being part of the reason for this squeeze on employers because she raised the payroll tax, of course. Megan Green says, actually, if you look at the high-frequency data, that squeeze, the brunt of it, is behind us.